Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Out of Nowhere. Well, what can I say about my guest tonight? I've known Susan for about, I don't know, 6 years, something like that. We used to be on Beacon of Light Radio going back in them days, quite a while ago. And she's agreed to come back on the show today. Her name is Susan Gretz. Susan is a psychic medium, tarot card reader, numerologist, palmist, dream interpreter, intuitive, life coach, spiritual consultant, and paranormal investigator. Can we please welcome Susan to the show? Hello there.
Hi. It's been a minute.
It's nice to talk to you again.
It is. It's been a while.
For all listeners meeting you for the first time, how would you describe what you do?
Oh, where do I start? Are you wanting to know like everything I do or just how?
Well, just a brief outline. Being a psychic medium, probably.
I pretty much do anything and everything. My journey started very young. And then my first reading that I ever gave, I was in my teens. Didn't really know what I was doing at the time, but yet the information it just kept flowing. So I knew that there was something else out there that I was meant to do, and now I'm living it. I'm doing it.
I know you started at. How did you go on at school then?
It was difficult. I've always had some problems with school and things like that, but I'm also an empath, so I would pick up on everything around me, all the students, my classmates, the teachers. And at the time, I didn't really know much about grounding and protecting and things like that. So it did take me into some spirals where I had some depression and things like that. But once I accepted my gifts and accepted who I was, that depression and all of that just kind of faded away.
Sounds interesting. Um, what does being a psychic medium mean to you?
Everything, literally everything. I could not imagine my life without my gifts. I just couldn't. I use my gifts not only to help people, but also in my personal life. I'm connected every day, pretty much all the time, to something. Um, I like to know and being aware of like what's going on around me, the people that's around me, how everyone's feeling, because I know that also impacts me. So I'm very much aware of everything that's going on.
Does it run in the family? Was your grandma or your mom, were they a psychic medium then?
I would say yes. Yes and no. My mom, I think a little bit. But before my mom got pregnant for me, my aunt actually predicted me. She said that there was going to be a female that was going to be born in the family that was going to be extremely gifted.
Ooh.
And it was kind of funny because I didn't know this until maybe a few years ago. My cousins had actually told me that there was like a run with the family. Every time someone got pregnant, they would run to my aunt and was like, is this her? Like, is this the baby? And my aunt's like, no, she's not here yet. And and my aunt was actually born with a veil over her face. So she was extremely gifted. But then I was born, and my aunt apparently had told my cousins and things like that that there she is. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. It would have been nice to know.
Of course it would have been,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so I was actually predicted by my aunt.
Isn't that strange? But didn't you have problems with your ears as well at one time?
I did. Actually, a lot of problems with my ears. I had multiple different surgeries. It got to a point where I was almost completely deaf. Like I could hear the vibrations, I could hear high pitched sounds, things like that. But when communicating with someone, if I was not looking at you, reading your lips, I could not hear what you were saying. Um, so the last surgery that I went into, the doctors had told my parents, like, this is the last surgery that she can have done on her ears. There's so much scar tissue in there. The surgeries are not doing any good. And when they do, it's like short term. So they was like, we can't keep putting her through this. So my parents are like, okay, we'll just try this one last try and, we'll go from there. Well, I'd went in for my surgery and this is where I would say all of my psychic abilities come into play.
Yeah.
I was 5, but I remember this day perfectly. Um, I had went in for my surgery, and back then, I'm not telling my age, but back then we didn't have these fancy rooms that you go into like before surgery and then after surgery for recovery, things like that. I was out in the hall outside of the operating room waiting to go back. And across from me, there was a bed, and there was a little boy on that bed. He was covered in blood, his clothes was all torn. And I had asked him what had happened, and he said that he was in a very bad car accident. And we spoke for several minutes. And he told me, he was like, don't worry about the surgery. Everything's going to be fine. When you come out, you're going to be able to hear. Because I was really nervous. I'm like, because I'm hearing the doctors saying, all of this stuff is going on. And, my parents were concerned and I was picking up on all of that. So
Yeah.
I thought, well, okay, I'm either going to be able to come out hearing or I'm going to be completely deaf. So
Oh,
I was worried. Well, surgery went great. I come out, I could actually hear, and I don't want to say threw a fit, but I was very adamant with talking to that little boy. I was like, well, where's he at? I want to tell him that he was right and everything was okay, and I wanted to thank him, and because he kind of calmed me down.
yeah.
And my parents just looked at me. They were totally confused, and I was going in this I don't want to say like a panic mode, but I was really stressing the fact that I wanted to talk to this little boy. So I described what he had looked like, everything that he had told me, what had happened, everything. And my parents pulled the doctor aside because I was upset because I couldn't find him, I couldn't talk to him. And my parents pulled the doctor aside just outside the room that I was in, and they were explaining to him like what I was saying. And my parents, of course, thought this was some kind of a side effect from the medication of being put to sleep and things like that.
Yeah.
And the doctor had told my parents, yes, there was a little boy out there that matched that description and this and that. And he's like, but there's no way she could have spoke to him. And I heard my mom go, why? And he goes, because he died at the scene.
Oh,
So, and, after that, my parents is like, let's just not talk about this again. Like, don't mention it to anyone.
yeah.
Basically, what I was getting from that is they didn't want people thinking I was crazy.
Well, that's true, isn't it?
It is. And that right there, and then some other things kind of caused me to try and shut things down a little bit because I wasn't sure how people would respond to what I was saying or what I was doing.
Yeah, I know. It's quite hard, isn't it? When you're quite a young age like that.
It is. It really is.
It's quite hard, but you came through it, and your ears have been okay ever since.
Yeah, I have recently had another surgery on my ears, but I just had like the tubes put in. I didn't have anything cleaned out. So I still have problems with my ears, but not like I did. And I can hear. So
Right.
I take that as a plus.
Well, I should think so as well. That's brilliant. How do you distinguish between intuition, imagination, and what do you believe is a genuine communication?
When I get that feeling where I'm questioning things, I never question my intuition, or at least I try not to. If I'm imagining things or feel like I'm imagining things, it doesn't sit right in my gut with me.
Yeah,
I get this really strong pull towards what I'm feeling. For an example, when my daughter was younger, my husband and I, she was working. It was like right after high school, and we were taking her to work and picking her up, and we picked her up one evening, and on the way home, we had to take a detour because the road we usually take was closed. And when we had pulled up, we got up the road, and it's a back road, and it was a very, um, I can't think of the term I'm looking for. Like you could only get one car through at a time. You could not put two cars passing each
all
other
right, yeah,
on there.
one way.
Yeah. Um, and we were going that way, and there were two cars there. There was one that was partially over the bank, like into the embankment, and then there was another car that was sitting there. And we didn't know what was going on, and this one guy had got out, and I told my daughter, I was like, I do not have a good feeling about him. And she goes, I don't either. And I was like, I think that's the guy that broke into our car.
Oh,
And literally that was like the week before. We didn't know who did it, but I was like, I think that's the guy that broke into our car. We had a GPS stolen. We had a bunch of stuff that was stolen out of it.
right.
And anyhow, my daughter, she agreed. She goes, I think it is too. My daughter is also gifted. Um, and anyhow, the following week, my husband was talking to a friend of his, and it just so happened to be that that guy was talking to another guy and told him that he had broke into a bunch of cars in our area, and he's like, I got a GPS. Like, he was naming things that he took out of our car.
Mm.
And my husband asked me that same question. He was like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I have a gut feeling it was him. And it turns out it was.
Oh, I bet your husband would have had something to say.
Yes, I told him, I was like, don't, let the law handle it. Don't do anything. Just because it would be really hard for me to go in there and say, oh, I had this psychic impression that he stole.
Yeah, exactly. He'd
Yeah.
have been locked up himself.
Yep. Yep. But the guy did admit where he got the items from and things like that. He told the other guy, and then so yeah, it was him.
Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What can a person's hands reveal about their personality or life journey?
What was that? You cut out on me.
Oh, what can a person's hands reveal about their personality or life journey?
Oh, their hands?
Yeah,
I can see so much in a palm. If everyone would look at your palm, it doesn't matter which palm, you're
yeah.
going to see that there are tons of lines on the palm. There's primary lines, there's secondary lines. So the primary lines are like your lifeline, this fate line, headline, things like that.
Mm,
And then you've got a bunch of the smaller lines. Um, So each line determines something different. Marriage lines, children lines, you can see relationships, you can see future possibilities, you can see past influences on the future and the present. So our palms are maps. um, you could pretty much see everything someone's been through, what they're going through, and then what the future holds in a palm.
Right, right. What's the biggest misconception people have about palm readings?
I'm going to give an example
Yes.
because here recently, I think it's been a month or so, I had actually done an event local to us, and I read palms for that event. And I had this woman come up to me, and she was very skeptic at first. She come right out. She told me, she's like, I'm just going to be straightforward and honest. I'm very skeptic. And I was like, that's okay. I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. I'm just doing what I do. And she's like, so I'm curious of what you see. And I started reading her palm, and she kind of pulled her hand back a minute, and then she just, the expression of her face will stick in my mind forever. Um, she was like, I don't know how you're doing this. And she put her hand back out, and she's like, how are you getting this information from my palm?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She goes, how are you getting this information from my palm? Because I had knew that she switched a job, and the job that she has now was better pay, better insurance, things like that. I could
Mm.
see things about her family, her personal life, things that happened in her past. And she's like, there's no way you would know that if what you do is not legit. And then she had to go over to one of her friends, and she pulled her friend over, and she was like, you need to listen to everything she's saying. I guess it was a lifelong friend. Like, she's known that lady since she was little.
Right.
And they were just both in awe. And I had a hard time explaining like how I could see that from a palm. But there are people that are skeptic, and I will always say I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. That defeats the purpose of what I do. What I do is to assist, it's to guide, it's to give people insight, direction. I'm not here to make people believers.
No. Um, this is a good question, this one. Do our palm lines change over time? And if so, what does that signify?
Our palms constantly change. My husband and I will not, I mean, I can read my own palm, I can read his, but I try
Yeah.
not to read family and things like that, for personal reasons. Now, if he would come to me and he would say, read my palm, things like that, then I would do it.
Yeah.
But I try to keep boundaries from personal life
Correct.
to what I do professionally. Um, but yeah, I've, I don't know. I'm not sure how exactly to answer that.
Yeah. Um, can be difficult that. How do you approach a tarot reading?
Oh, I just pull the cards.
Ah,
If someone's got a question, I direct the cards to that area of focus. Or if someone's just looking for like a general guidance, that's where I put that focus. But no matter what reading I'm conducting, my guides are always there to assist me and let me know like what I need to do further. So, for example, if I'm pulling 5 cards for someone, and my guides is like, you need to pull a clarifier or you need to pull a couple of extra cards, then I do that. So it just depends.
Yeah, I suppose it does. Do you believe tarot predicts the future or help people explore possibilities?
100%. 100%.
Do you think it helps people in life generally? Because people are looking out for somebody might be on a not feeling too good in themselves and having lots of bad luck. And when you pull a card, do you think it helps them
I
for the
do.
future?
Yeah, I really do, because it helps give direction. It helps give insight, because sometimes things that we go through don't exactly tell us why we're going through something. You know what I mean? So sometimes pulling cards gives that little extra insight, and it may answer questions that we have about situations that's going on. And it can also help us determine how we move forward from that, what changes need to be made, or, what we have to do to move on from that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does help a lot of people out there. And I think after a card reading, it helps them a hell of a lot in life.
It
Come,
really does.
feel better in themselves, don't they?
Hmm.
And I'm glad there's people like you out there who can help people to get on with life and give a little bit for the future.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine not doing what I do. I'm
And
I've
that's
even had
strange.
I've even had people ask me, like, if you would ever win the lottery and become a billionaire, would you still do what you do? And my answer's always been absolutely I would.
Oh God, yeah, oh yeah. I can imagine you do exactly the same. You'll still be the firefighting and all that business, and you just help your family, won't you?
Yep.
Yeah, help your children, your grandkids out, make sure they have a house, everything paid for. You just carry on doing what you love doing.
Yep. I would.
Well, I think that's a great thing to do.
I do too.
I'm just writing all these. I've just wrote in chat room about people wanting readings, and I'm trying to put them all in order. As I figure there's quite a lot of them from your end over the pond.
Oh, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, there's Mary there. There's Tiffany, Michelle, Jeff Price. I presume he's from over your place as well. So he
Hmm.
said, "Hi, Susan and everyone." Tiffany wants it. I love a reading. I would love a reading if possible. But we'll get to that shortly anyway. Um, I know last time we spoke, we were on about you'd love to write a book. How are you
Funny
getting on with it?
thing, I'm actually working on that. I am working on it.
I know because I said to you, you would write a book and eventually it will come out. And I think it will be good.
It it,
Um, a
it
lot
was
of people, when they try to write, I'm trying to write a book as well about Men in Black, but there's always, it's that thing where you say it's finished. And sometimes you think, oh, I could do a little bit more on that.
Yep. Yep. um a client had actually brought something up with me here. I can't remember when. It's been a while ago. And she was like, "Can I make a suggestion?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." And she's like, "Why don't you write a book about all of your experiences?" And I was like,
Yes,
"That is perfect." Because she's like, every experience you have is like a different chapter.
of course it is. Chapter in your book, isn't it?
It is. It really
And
is.
and you've had loads in your life, lots have happened when you were growing up, and you can write that in your book as well,
Yes, I can.
and about your children and what's happened. It's It's never ending when you're trying to write a book.
That is true. I think a lot of times when we feel like there's not an ending or we're just not sure how to wrap it up, so to speak, it's because there's still something that we need to add to it. Maybe we just haven't experienced it yet, and we're kind of waiting for that to happen to put in there. That might be kind of what's going on with you.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I keep looking and I think, I look at it and I think, come on, get on with it.
You have more to experience, Bob.
We've had so many experiences on the show, never mind all else, what's happened in the past.
Yeah.
But, you know, where do you see your future lies then?
I don't really know. I think that our future's not really set in stone. And the reason why is because we have free will. We can do whatever we want. Well, mostly we can do whatever we want. We can experience different things. We can make choices and things like that. So it's like really, for me personally, it's this. Like this is my future. I've got some things that I'm working on currently um, that's going to impact the future. So I'm just trying to move through those and organize everything on that end and just kind of wait and see what happens.
Have you been looking for a shop?
I've actually been in a shop.
Because, you know, I can see you in a shop giving readings and things like that. But I
Yes.
think you may be looking for something better, a bit. Well, how can I put it? A shop where it Migler somewhere. I don't know where I'm going with this. I know in a town or somewhere nearby where you live, you're going to have an opportunity for a bigger place, should I say, and it's going to be right for you.
I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I bounce around between different shops. I'm currently stocking up on products because I'm going to have an online store um,
Brilliant.
where people can purchase like tarot decks, crystals, candles, things like that. And I actually make my own candles.
Oh,
Um,
that's good.
yeah. So that's one of the things that's in the works.
I'm going to say because there's more to being a psychic medium, like your online stuff, like you say about candles, cards, and crystals, and
Hmm. But with this part of my life, this part of my journey, I don't want to just hand someone a candle and like
no, I
here
know you
here it
don't.
is. Um so everything that I do is with intention. So when I'm making candles, it's with an intention. Um my biggest thing right now is teaching through what I'm doing. So it's teaching people about manifestation. It's teaching people about intentions and mindset and things like that because your mindset with everything determines everything. So if you're being negative and there's no positive in there, then you're going to find negative stuff. There's going to be negative things that are happening. If you're trying to stay positive and you're more positive and uplifting, that doesn't mean that you're not going to go through things. But what it does mean is that you're going to be able to move through those things a lot smoother than you would if you just had a negative mindset about it.
Yes, yeah, I see where you're coming from there. Yeah, and it happens a lot with people in life.
It really does.
You just need to move on. A lot of it's, I don't know if you agree with me, from the past lives. Some with some people, if they've had the same issue in the past life and never resolved it when they passed over, and when they come back again, it's going to be the same.
I agree 100%. And I've seen a lot of that doing past live readings. Um, a lot of the past kind of is in the present. And I think it's important that when people get those readings and get that insight, whether it's from me or from anyone else, that they really listen and connect to what was to what is, because it's kind of diving into the what is, like what's going on in the present moment. It's going to determine how they choose to move forward from that or how they choose to fix it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there as well. Yeah, right. I think we'll start doing some readings now because 30 minutes has gone already. It soon
That
passes. It soon goes with you, Susan.
it really does. That was a quick 30 minutes.
It does, yeah. I've got a good one here. I met this lady a few times in the last, I don't know, couple of months. Really nice girl. They call her Edina Molnar. Um, she's had a boyfriend, but she seems to pick the wrong one all the time through life. I don't know why, she said. And I think he's using her sometimes, and they're on, it's on, and then it's off, and then it's on, and then she doesn't see any way out of it. What can you give to give us some reassurance in life?
Okay, so a lot of things to unpack with this one. First, I do feel like that a lot of this is past life related. Um, and I do feel like she is going to be able to move on from this. I do not feel like that this is the long-term relationship for her, because I do feel like that there's a lot of times she's taken for granted. And when she's using the term used, this is what I'm talking about, taking for granted, like being unappreciated, sometimes maybe unsupported or feeling like she's unsupported. So there's a lot of things to unpack with that. And I kind of feel like that this may stem from not just past life, but childhood as well. Usually, when I see this, there might be an issue with the father, or a male family member. And it's almost like we carry that with us. And that really jumped out at me when she said that she keeps like attracting the wrong men. I feel like she's searching for something. She's looking for something from her
Mm.
past in the present relationships. And because she's not getting out of it exactly what she's wanting, that's where she's feeling disconnected in a way with it. I do feel like that she will be able to find her person. I don't feel like the person she's with right now is that person. She deserves so much better.
Oh gosh,
She
yeah.
deserves a balance and an equal relationship. Because right now I'm seeing like the teeter totter, and it's more in her direction. So I feel like a lot of everything is on her, and it's unfair. It's unjust.
And she's such a nice person as well to talk to.
Yep, she's definitely not getting the fairness out of her relationship, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'm sure she'll appreciate what you've said to her. She'll probably get back to us in chat room, and I'm sure she'll feel a little bit better now where things are going.
Good.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Um, Janice is next. A general reading for Janice.
All right. Janice, what do we got for you? Let's see what we got for Janice. All right, Janice. Okay, so there's a few things going on here. One, I feel like there's a journey that you were on, and this journey may not be the most pleasant. So this is coming in as there may be some things that have come up that's kind of got you unsettled or kind of feeling what's the word I'm looking for? Like you're not able to transition or move forward. I feel like there's delays in this and kind of a difficulty in getting away. So this could be regarding an income or finances or money coming in, and there just may be a delay in that, which is kind of holding off on all of the things that you're wanting to do. I'm also getting that you need to be more self-confident, not just in personal life, but in everything else. So that tells me right there that there may be days where you're just like, I can't do this. This is just not happening. You got to pull yourself out of that mindset and try and stay positive with everything. You are very strong willed. So I feel like when you put your mind to something, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to accomplish it. I'm also getting here that you need to follow your intuition more, listen to your intuition, pay attention to that gut feeling. So when something's just not sitting right with you and you kind of feel it in your stomach, then know that that's not for you. Don't hang on to that, release it, let it go, and allow yourself to move forward. And I hope that that helps.
I'm sure it will do. Got Mary next. I think it's Mary Good, I think. Who's next?
Okay. She just wanting general? What do you want,
I think
Mary?
so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got from Mary. I got several different decks here, so
Oh, brilliant.
I'm going with whatever my guides are like. Use this one.
That's the way to do it, yeah. Spot on. You can feel it sometimes, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then Adina says thank you very much for the reading.
You're welcome. Okay. What do we got?
Oh, Janice was just saying she's been on a very long journey.
Yep. Yeah, I could see that. All right. So, Mary, I feel like you are also on a journey, so to speak. For you, I feel like this is more a spiritual journey. But I'm also seeing like change for the better. So something good is happening here. It's unfolding. I feel like you're letting go of bad ideas, past perceptions of things that didn't work for you, things like that. I also feel like that there's this sense of inspiration. Where that's coming from, I'm not sure, but that's for you to figure out. But I do feel like there's that inspiration there, and this is causing this creative spark. Like you're wanting to try new things, you're wanting this, new experiences and things like that. And this is kind of going to take you in a new direction, but a more positive one, an improved one. You're also very motivated blah, 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 motivated by feelings right now. So I feel like your empath side of you is sometimes overwhelming and it's kind of getting the best of you. So make sure that you are grounding and you're staying protected so that you're not taking on everyone else's energy and their problems and things like that. And I hope that that helps, Mary.
I'm sure it will do. Tiffany next. She didn't say anything. I think she just wants a general card reading.
Okay. Use a different deck for Tiffany.
Yeah.
feel like this is going to be more guidance for her. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you what these cards are because of the deck that I'm using, and then go to interpreting those meanings for you because this deck is more of inspiration and guidance on things that's going on in the present moment. So your first card is running on empty. And this has got this burnout, depletion, wanting to surrender energy. Um, your second card here is the Mirror Child, and this is innocence, it's compassion, and it's reflection. And then you've got letters you never sent, which is forgiveness, expression, and release. So when I'm looking at all of these and I'm interpreting them and I'm feeling things out that's going on in your life, there's this stillness, and the stillness kind of feels like an emptiness, like you don't know what the next step is, what to do, how to hold everything together, because I do feel like you're the one trying to hold everything together. You got to be gentle with yourself. And when I'm talking about yourself, I'm talking about the version of yourself that has survived all of these things. Now pay attention to what I said. The version of yourself that survived all of these things. So
Right.
this tells me right there that even though the things you're going through in the present moment is very, very challenging, it's frustrating, you're going to get through this. You are going to survive it. It's going to be a chapter in your story that you overcome. The letters you never sent, when we're talking about forgiveness, this is unspoken words that you hold on to. So this might be the frustration that you need to let out. This is build up emotion and tensions that you're just hanging on to versus releasing it. So what this looks like to me is that you need to release a lot of this stuff, let it go, let the universe unfold how it needs to without so much push and pull, um, and allow yourself to be in the moment without all of the outside influence that's kind of dragging you down. Because I do see a fresh start here. I do see things working out, and I do see you overcoming the obstacles that you are facing. So I do hope that that helps.
I'm sure it will do, Susan. I'm sure she'll get back to us. Who's next? Michelle next.
Does she want general?
I think so, yeah. General one, please.
Okay, Michelle. What do we got for Michelle? I feel so much overwhelmed with her right now. So I don't know what all she's got going on, but when connecting with her energy, I do feel a lot of overwhelm and anxiety. Michelle. Ooh, okay. Um, Michelle. So this can be a personal relationship. It can be a work relationship, or it can be someone um, that's in the family. I am seeing a lot of imbalances here. There's tension, there's misunderstandings. So this could be any of the above that I mentioned. But I do see a lot of lack of balance here. I'm also seeing a lack of balance within yourself. And a lot of times that happens when we've got a lot going on and we're overstressed, we've got anxiety, we're really frustrated. And when we're in that energy, then it's hard to kind of stay positive and stay balanced and things like that. So there's a lot going on between you and other people, but also with yourself, as far as the lack of balance goes. I'm also seeing some untapped potential here. So I want to ask this question to you. You don't have to answer it on here. Just I want you to think about it. What do you feel like is holding you back? Is it something inside yourself? Like, is it fear, lack of confidence, or is it outside of yourself? So, someone else or a situation holding you back, because there is a lot of untapped potential. So, that also tells me that you might fear a new beginning or a fresh start because you don't know how to go like put one step forward and get to from point A to point B. You could even be lacking the resources to do that. Um, I feel like that there are times where you self-destruct in your life, meaning you go and you're like, I give up, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I don't want to move forward. So there's a lot of things to unpack here emotionally and mentally. Those are, I feel like, the main focus here. But what I can tell you is that trying to be positive and trying to see the future ahead in a positive light versus unpacking everything that's going on in the present and the past. So it's just kind of letting that go and let the light from the future in. Um, I do see things working out for you, and I do see improvement. You just have to choose to go that route and kind of I don't want to call it a funk, but at the same time it kind of feels like an energetic funk. So kind of getting out of that and putting one step forward and saying, I got this. I can do this. I can make it happen because you will. So I do hope that that helps.
I'm sure. I'm sure it will do. Mary got back and said, "Spot on, Susan."
Thank you, Mary.
Who was next? Rosemary.
All right. Rosemary.
Emerald one.
Okay. Actually, my guides are like, use this one. Let's see what we got here. Rosemary. Rosemary.
Tiffany just said, "Thank you so much, Susan. Love you."
I love you too, Tiffany. Okay, there's a lot. I feel like there's a lot to unpack here as well. So, Rosemary, yours is the static between worlds, which is confusion. It's all about energy. It's like this reset. Then you've got slow bloom, which is patience, growth, and trust. And then you've got a soft return. So this is homecoming. It's peace. It's gentleness. So when we're looking at static between worlds, this is like the noise that's asking for the stillness. So this tells me right here that you've got a lot going on, more than I know about, because I do know about some of the things, but this tells me there's so much more going on that you're trying to work through, you're trying to process. You're confused about a lot of things, like whether it's like what's happening or confused about where the outcome is going or how things are going to look. The slow bloom is talking about patience in the growth, and it's about you trusting in the outcome, you trusting in the universe, you trusting that things are going to be okay and they are going to work out. It's also important to know that when something is rushed, it doesn't always come out the way that you want it to. So when you're looking at situations and things that's going on, you need to be patient, because there's a reason things are taking longer than expected. So kind of be patient in that process. And the soft return, the bringing homecoming and peace, this is finding peace within yourself before you find it on the exterior. So it's finding peace on the inside before you're finding peace on the outside. So a lot of times when we're looking at peace on the outside, we're looking for a person or a situation or something that makes us feel like home, if that makes sense. So when we find that on the outside, if we're unsettled on the inside, that peace is not going to feel like peace. It's going to be something that you feel like is temporary. So this is finding peace on the inside first, healing from the inside first, and then working on the outside. So I hope that helps you, Mary or Rosemary.
Thank you for that. I'm sure she'll get back to us shortly. Now I've got Rick Allen. Now he wants to ask you, he wants to find his true identity.
I feel like there's a lot of self work that you need to do. Um, Let me kind of tap into things here.
Yeah.
I feel like he's felt lost in a way for a very long time. I feel like this might have started around childhood to early teens. So I don't know if there's something that has triggered this and it's kind of set in his mind where it feels like it's permanent and it's hard to get out of that. Um, but that's what this feels like. I hope that I described that how it needs to come out. I think that finding his true identity, so to speak, is going to start from healing from past traumas and things that have happened in the past, things that you have dealt with, things that you've been through, some encounters with people that may not have been so great. I think that starting to getting to really know yourself, you're going to have to accept yourself for who you are and really work on yourself on a personal level first. Because I feel like there's so much that's been missing, it's been off balance, and things of that nature that's causing you to maybe kind of feel like, I don't want to say lost because I don't feel like anyone's ever lost. I feel like it's just a different journey. Like we go down the wrong road sometimes because there's certain things that we have to experience to get where we are today. And I feel like you need to open up yourself more, not just to other people, but to yourself, so that you can work through those things. And once you work through them, you're able to release them. And then once you release them, you're going to start realizing who you are on a deeper level. Because right now, I feel like you're who everyone else wants you to be, or who everyone else needs you to be, rather than who you are, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense anyway.
I'm sure it does because he's put the thumbs up. One for Dragonborn. I forget her other name. I can't think of it now. I think she's from Wales in the UK, and I can never think of her other name. Can you just have a general reading, please?
Of course.
I know it's a she.
All right.
Rich just saying, as close as you can be, Susan. Thank you, Susan, for my journey. It will go public. It makes sense.
Ah, you're very welcome. All right.
How are we doing for time? Oh, we're all right.
Yeah, we're okay. Okay. What do we got here? Let's a lot to unpack here too. There's a lot of mental conflicts here, and this could be in regards to like the next step, like putting the next step forward and not knowing which direction to go. Because in my mind, I'm seeing like two paths aside from the path that she's on. So that tells me right there that she may need to kind of figure out which direction she wants to go, before I get to the rest of it, I want you to follow your gut with this and where it's leading you. Because I feel like you question a lot of things and then re-question it and then question it again. And you're spending all this time trying to figure out, where to go. And your intuition's really pulling at you saying this way, this way. And you're still like, which way do I go? So I really need you to listen to your intuition and pay attention to that. That's going to help with the conflicts on, where to go from here. Um, there's a stalemate. So that tells me that you've been unable to make a decision with something, or you're just kind of sitting on it. Like, it needs to happen. You need to do it, but either you're just not ready to do it yet, or you don't know when to start or where to start. Um, I also feel like you're working really hard at this mentally. So that tells me right there it's something that you may think about on the daily, or every other day, but you think about it a lot. Like, it crosses your mind a lot. Um, you're very gifted. And this is, again, why I want you to listen to your intuition, because a lot of times you don't. And then you feel like you need to kick yourself in the behind for not listening to it. But know that when you don't, there's an experience in there that you needed to have. And that's why you went down the path that you did. Um, Also, you don't have to be perfect all the time. I feel like there's a bit of OCD-ness with this. Like, you feel like that whatever this is, it has to be perfect. Know that our experiences shape the future. So sometimes we need to be wrong so that we can reword things, or we can redo things to get it to where it needs to be, if that makes sense. But I do see this brave, ambitious energy with this, and this is good. This is really good because it's going to allow you to move through things like you need to, instead of being stagnant and stuck. You've got some really bold ideas. There's a lot of things I feel like you're wanting to do. And I feel like now's the time to put that next step forward and start getting them done.
Right, very good for that. Sure, she'll get back to us in a minute. Now, JDK wants to ask a question. How are guides assigned to us?
How are our guides assigned to us?
Yes.
Is that, I feel like that it's kind of, I'm trying to figure out how to explain this so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
So when we're born with guides.
Yeah.
Sometimes those guides change throughout our life depending on what's going on. Sometimes we've got one that stays with us, and then we have, several more that comes in. I just feel like on an energetic and a spiritual level, they're always there. Um, I don't know how to explain like the assigned part of that. I just know that they're there.
They are. They're there to help us in to get on with life and be there for you
Yes,
when you need them.
very true. Very true.
But otherwise, yeah, that's about it, really.
That was a quick hour.
Yeah. There's just one. I think it's Bailey, M5. Just wants a general one.
Okay, we can do that. You said Bailey?
Bailey.
Okay. I feel there's a really strong intuition right there.
Right.
With possibly mediumship capabilities. I'm curious to know if right? Bailey? I mean, it could
I
be.
think so, yes. It sounds like that.
Um, we're gonna see here because I do feel like she's very, very intuitive, and she actually possesses mediumship capabilities.
Right.
Oh, lots of. I like this. I really like this. Um,
Oh,
uh, there's a lot of balance here and a lot of harmony. I feel like this is kind of up and down with things. Life in general, no matter who it is, it's got its ups and downs. It's part of life. But I feel like for the most part, um, she kind of feels things out. Like if something's not working or something's not going right, she's like feeling it out. And then she's like, okay, how do I change this? How do I make this better? What can I do to make this better? She's looking for truth and honesty in everything. So I feel like she really, it doesn't matter what she's looking through or she's feeling out, so to speak, or what she's doing, she's looking for that insight, that truth, not just like truth on the outside, but the inner truth. There's also this level of self-confidence that I feel like it's the balancing scale. So some days she's really confident and then other days not so much. But you are ambitious. You are, I feel like there's independence with you. So it's like you feel like you've got to do things on your own. Um, Kind of like me when house cleaning and someone's trying to help me. I'm like, I like it done this way, so I just do it. That's what this feels like to me. Not the house cleaning, but
yeah, I know.
how you like things done a certain way, or you're used to doing them a certain way, so you just do them. That way, you know it's done to your liking, so to speak. Um, you have this power basically to transform ideas and goals into reality. So this is telling me if there's something that you've been wanting to do or wanting to try, or it's been a goal that you've had in the back of your mind, you have everything within your being to accomplish that. I actually see you accomplishing that. You've got the magician here, and it's also representing manifestation. So I want you to question like what you're manifesting, and if you say, I'm not manifesting, when you're putting a thought out into the universe, whether negative or positive, you are manifesting. So if you're putting a negative energy out there, you're going to get negative in return. If you're putting something positive out there, you're going to get something positive in return. So you are always manifesting. Remember that. But it does look like that you've got the self confidence and the inner power to work through anything that you are going through and end up coming out on top. So I do hope that that helps.
I'm sure it does as well. Thank you, Susan. Just got a quickie for you here.
Okay.
I don't know why I've got this. I've got a gold ring with diamonds on it, and it's like a James Bond theme here. Diamonds are forever, and I think you call your husband the James Bond.
I just told him that the other day.
That's what you're saying here.
That is funny. That is, I like that. Thank you.
It's all right, no problem. The speech is telling me that. I had to give you that.
Thank you very much.
But thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yes, it
Everybody's
has.
enjoyed it today. You've
It
done
was my pleasure.
oh, they all love you, Susan. And you give such brilliant readings to everyone.
I try.
Yeah, you've done a great job tonight. Everybody's saying thank you very much for the readings, and Absolutely great. So thank you again.
You are very welcome.
My guest next Wednesday, the 17th of June, is John Ventry. He's got a book out about UFOs. He works for MUFON as well. So we'll have a great time with John. That's Wednesday the 17th. And on Friday, we've got John Keeling. He's got a book out about UFOs, about the myths of some of these true findings or the false ones. He's got a book out questioning about UFOs and other things around the world. So that's Friday the 19th of June with John Keeling. And then Wednesday the 17th is John Ventry. So I've got a couple of good speakers on there in the following next week. Rosemary just said she's the best.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Well, thank you again. You take care and look
You as
after
well.
James Bond.
I try.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You always do the best for everybody and all your family as well.
Yep, I try. I couldn't imagine not doing it.
Oh, I know. But you're always there for everybody. They always come to you. All the family do.
They do. They really do.
But they're there because they know, I'm not going to say you've got all the answers, but you can guide them in the right direction.
I do try.
Yeah, so everybody and Adina's just saying thank you, Susan, for her reading as well.
You're welcome.
Right, I would let you get on with life.
Oh, thank you.
I've probably got a busy day as usual over there.
I do.
As usual. I'll get up there a minute. Yeah, so thank you again. Thank you.